Giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem, Chrakah, Kwadash, double honors to our elders and our apostles of Great Millstone who taught us this truth, and a salute to all the sincere elect out there. Keep pushing. So yes, we know we're officially in Jacob's trouble. Officially in Jacob's trouble. That's why we're seeing ramping up of mischief. Let me just watch a couple of these clips here. This is something that went down, right, over there in San Diego. One of the latest things. So we spoke about mischief yesterday. So the devil goes around like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. So let's check out what's been taking place. I was watching the news last night, and well, you might need a notebook and a pen. There's too much thing going on to write things down, but you have to stay. You miss an hour, you miss a lot. You miss a day, you miss a you miss a whole lot. So anyway, what's this? What's all this? What's all this? What's all this? What's this?
Man murdered 3 Muslims at the Islamic Center of San Diego. Today around midday, a tragic shooting took place at the Islamic Center of San Diego in the Claremont area. 3 adult men, including a...
Yeah, they happen to be Jakes, right? Worshipping Allah. And we know that Islam just means powers, but Jakes all up in there, all up in the religion, and false religion, and one of the unclean frogs. And they catch a judgment up in there.
Security guard and 2 staff members lost their lives. 2 teenage suspects were later found dead nearby from apparent self-inflicted gunshot wounds.
They look like straight Edomites. They're saying this is a hate crime.
Thankfully, children at the on-site school were safely evacuated, with no injuries reported. Police say the threat was quickly neutralized, and the scene is now secure. The FBI is assisting as this is being investigated as a possible hate crime. Our hearts go out to the...
Yeah, that ain't gonna be around for much longer, considering it's 3 Jakes. Straight Jakes, definitely Jakes. That ain't gonna be around for much longer. This is gonna fade. It's gonna fade to the background.
Victims' families and the entire San Diego Muslim community during this heartbreaking time. This is a developing story. What are your thoughts? Drop.
Oh boy, you gotta, it is kind of but yes, this is what's been taking place, and we're gonna get the scriptures. We're gonna get the scriptures to find out everything through the scriptures. Prophecy, yes, news and prophecy.
This is every community's worst nightmare. I want to give you some preliminary information to put a lot of minds at ease. There is no further threat. Both suspects in this case are deceased. All of the kids are safe. We have 3 confirmed adults that are deceased at the Islamic Center. Because of the Islamic Center location, we are considering this a hate crime until it's not. At this point, we're going to work closely with the FBI.
Yeah, you're going to make it not a hate crime because there's 3 Jakes that got deleted. Because it makes you look bad. It makes you Edomites look bad. It goes down as a hate crime. And it was 2 Edomites as far as what I know at this point. So, as a matter of fact, let me hit the precept now. Let's hit it now. Tell you what, we're going to hit it here. We're going to hit it here. Job 18, and we want 14. He says, his confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and it shall bring him to the king of terrors. Yep. That's the side, the left-hand side of the Most High. Right? He was behind it, right? He's the king of terrors. So, we got our next one here. Proverbs 24:7 says, wisdom is too high for a fool. He openeth not his mouth in the gate. He that deviseth to do evil shall be called a mischievous person. Yeah. Ultimately, the most mischievous person on the planet is the devil, the Edomites. So we're going to check out a couple of these words here. As we know, the Most High is behind it. He's the left-hand side behind it, using the devil as his sword. So he that is mischievous or deviseth to do evil shall be called a mischievous person. Yep. The word mischievous, we want mischievous. So H4209, purpose divisive evil, right? Divisive, a mischievous person is divisive evil. He's plotting, right? And we know the ultimate mischievous person is the devil, the Edomites, plotting right now as we speak, making the well, they've introduced the digital currency, or the electronic digital ID is going to be made mandatory. They say 2029. Well, we believe before that, because if it's going to be around a couple of months, if it's a matter of months or 6 months, the MOTB is going to be made mandatory. Then before that has to be the digital ID has to be made mandatory before that. But they're plotting and they're divisive, they're mystery, they're mischief, mischievous devices. They're divisive, they're mischievous devices, right? Lewdness, usually evil, yeah? Something, wicked devices, that's the word there. Mischievous devices, thought wickedly, wicked thoughts, right? In the Strongs. That's all we want right there. This is this devil, right? Divisive, his mischievous devices. He deviseth mischievous. That's it. Yep. We looked at mischievous. Look at this one. Devices. H2803. Devices. Yep. Plans. Right. And we know that the plans that they be planning are mischievous plans, plotting, and yeah. For all we know, them shooters could have been under some kind of MK Ultra. We don't know with this devil. This devil be moving, moving around like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. Calculate, plan, calculate, event. Right, that was a calculated event, right? Left hand side event. That's it right there. So we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, right? Right, they're making things more and more unstable, so that they can bring in, well, is it problem, reaction, solution, right? Because really other prophecies lead to the main prophecy, the MOTB, right? Because that's what they want. They want destabilization, right? Fear, right? This goes in favor of their agenda, right? Despite the way that they coming across, this goes in favor of their agenda. Problem, reaction, solution. So Ezekiel 7:25 says, "Destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none." Yep, there will be none, right? Because we're building up to the MOTB. Then the final prophecy, WW3. So there has to be a destabilization, because these prophecies, these agendas are set up, right? Which do fulfill prophecy. Destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none. Yeah, this devil in his own kingdom, right? He's under the terror. He's under terror. The T word. I'll say the T word, right? Which is all part of the Most High's prophecies coming to pass anyway, and it fulfills their agenda too. So the Most High be deleting, you know, two birds with one stone, or multiple birds with one stone, to fulfill the purpose, to fulfill the prophecy. Destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none. Mischief shall come upon mischief, and rumor shall be upon rumor. Then shall they seek a vision of the prophets. Yep. Every day, every morning, getting up, putting this truth out there, right? On the now you can get it. You can be spoon fed now on the Neurum and the Forum, the internet. You can be spoon fed, right, to know what time it is via the prophecies. So there's no excuses, right? No excuses. You can't say you haven't been warned. Then shall they seek the vision of the prophets, but the law shall perish from the priest and counsel from the ancient. Yep. They don't pay attention to the chiefs, right? The prophets, right? The messengers, right? So don't get mad with the messengers. We're just messengers, right? Don't get mad with the postman, right? He's just delivering the post, right? The message to say before, calling out, giving that warning. But as it says there, right? The prophets, but the law shall perish from the priests and the counsel from the ancients. It shall be upon rumor when they shall seek a vision of the prophets. Yep, they're going to seek, but it's going to be too late, right? The time we're living in, man. You can't say you haven't been warned, right? You got the Urim and the Thummim. You got all kinds of apps now, internet apps. You know, all these social media apps. You can get information. The prophets have put their messages on for the most part, all of them. You understand? TikTok, messages there, which you got a lot of scoffers there on TikTok as well. Instagram, the message is there. The Tweety, the message is there, right? To bring the counterbalance of the scoffers, right? And then you got on the highways and the byways. You can't escape. Here's the last one. The king shall mourn, and the princes shall be clothed with the desolation. The hands of the people of the year. That's the ultimate desolations coming upon Babylon, right? Which you got now. You got Nero 47. He's going to be how he was deleted. They all came against him in the end, right? Nero 47, the one that deleted, burnt the prophets, set them on fire, and burnt down Rome and blamed the prophets. And then he also used the prophets, the so-called Christians of those days, as torches, right? Setting them alight, using them as lamp posts or light posts, torches. When you see the lamps today on the road, using them as such lamps, setting them on fire as a way of mockery. And that was his hatred that it was soothing beneath him. And he had Apostle Peter and Apostle Paul deleted. Apostle Peter was hanged and Apostle Peter was beheaded. Apostle Peter was hanged and Apostle Paul was beheaded. And Apostle Peter was hanged upside. He chose to be hanged upside down. But it was on the order of King Nero, right? And he's back here today, right? Yeah, and it was made just to make another point that he's the one that's pushing for the public executions. So it's really it really makes sense that he was the one that had Apostle Peter and Apostle Paul deleted, right? And it was public too. It was made public. It happened public. It was announced public, and burned down Rome and blamed it on the Christians. This was all public information. And today he's slowly but surely he wants to bring in the public executions via executing by, could be by hanging, beheadings, the guillotines, to make public. So this is Nero 47. This is Nero all over again. The signs show it. Our elders and our apostles have said it, and we believe it, right? Via our own observations and investigations and research. It just makes sense. So the king shall mourn and the princes shall be clothed with this desolation. The hands of the people of the land shall be troubled. Yeah, we're in Jacob's trouble now, and they're very troubled. Right, the Edomites as well as the two-third ninjas, they're all troubled. They're being oppressed more. They're being come down upon more. Right, withdrawing the Snapchat and the Section 8. They're losing, and the Edomites are losing their jobs, and they're crying out. They're crying foul, right? Because they're losing their silver spoon treatment, right? Their white supremacy. They're losing that, and they can see that that Jake is rising up. Jake is rising up materially in some. As a matter of fact, it's not even that. It's not even that bad. But to them, an even playing field is unfair. The fact that they see Jacob, getting by, he's still around. From the time he's been struggling, he's still around, and then you get a little taste of it, and they cry foul. They throw their toys out the pram. There you have it, Akim. And I will do unto them after their way. Yep. You live by the gun, you die by the gun. That's what's happening now. With all these shootings that's taking place. You live by the gun, you die, and that's what Yahweh Shai said. Right? That's, you Christians call Jesus. That's what he said to Peter, Apostle Peter. Right? You live by the gun, you die by the gun. So I will do unto them after their way, according to their deserts will I judge them, and they shall know that I am the Lord. Yep. That's why you got the king of terrors. That's why he's described as the king of terrors. Is him that's behind it. He's instigating it. Job, we looked at it. Job 18 and 14. His confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and it shall bring him to the king of terrors. Right? So we've got some words. I'm going to check it out just to go over. Alright, we've got a little lagging with the computer. Give it time. You want the word king of terrors. If it don't come up on my let's go back and see. Let's renew, let's refresh and see if I can get it that way. Let's refresh. Right, let me see if I can get it that way. So back to Job 18 and 14. What the word, there you have it. The water, Yahweh terrors. H1091. Yep. Destruction, calamity, dreadful, dreadful event. Yep. So that over there was taking place right now. Right? People are in dread. It's a dreadful event for these people.
Every community's worst nightmare.
Yep, there you have it. He said it. He said it. It's dreadful. The community's worst nightmare is coming to pass. That's the king of terrors, right? Using the left-hand side for his sword, right? To bring destruction, right? Dreadful event. That's a dreadful event. There you have it. The Wadiyah about Shimon Shai. Carla Yahweh Shimon Shai. So I'm going to entitle this video Mischief. The mischief be ramping up. Mischief upon mischief be ramping up. Yep, his confidence. So yeah, and their confidence is they're losing confidence. H4009. Confidence. State of confidence, security. Right? Trust, confidence. They're losing their trust. So the Most High is withdrawing the confidence. Well, you ain't gonna get no confidence in Babylon. Right? As the scripture says, it's falling. Babylon is falling in Revelation 18. It is falling. It is become a habitation of devils. So you got pure demons roaming around. And I wouldn't be surprised if they find out them two little shooters, which look like Edomites. I wouldn't be surprised if they, they do any more in-depth investigation that they found out what to do via AI. That's what a lot of these youths have been doing now. Getting information from AI, and AI is under investigation for giving out certain information, or the CEO of AI is under investigation for giving out or allowing AI. The CEO of AI is under investigation because AI is giving out information how you can get all forms of weaponry, and how to delete your friend and blow up blow up this place, blow up school. So AI, this is AI turning against the devil. Babylon is fooling, and these people, because they're going on this AI, they're becoming even more demonic. So that rings true with the precept, Revelation 18. Babylon is falling. Babylon is falling. It's become a habitation of little demons, of devils, demons and devils. So that's really the point. The whole of Job 18 is good. It explains it nicely. It goes into the time we're living in, and his prophecy. Right, the king of terrors. Yeah, his confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle. It shall bring him to the king of terrors. Yeah, that's all I need right there. So mischief, yeah, destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none. Yeah, this is just an example. There's many other examples, on the news how destruction is coming, and we're in Jacob's trouble. Many other examples we could have, but there's a whole list of them. Right, the news be churning them out, right, which is prophecy. So this is another video, news and prophecy, and mischief be ramping up. Mischief shall come upon mischief, and rumor shall be upon rumor. Then shall they seek a vision of the prophets. Yeah, and they be mocking the prophets. That's the difference. They mocking the prophets. But when they're going to try and seek the vision of the prophets, but the law shall perish from the priests and the counsel from the ancients. Yeah, we may be withdrawn, right? The famine of the word. Yeah. However it comes through the Lord, it's going to come through the Lord anyway. Whether they just say, right, no more internet, they're going to do all kinds of things now with the digital ID, which is a step closer to the MOTV. You may need digital ID just to get on the internet. It's going in that direction. But however, the Most High plays it out that the prophets, right, shall be pulled back, and they gonna seek the messages, right, to be warned, but it's gonna be too late, as it says there, right? The vision of the prophets shall perish, right? However, the Most High plays it out. But yes, we're in that time, mischief upon mischief. The Most High is bringing it. He's bringing it. He's bringing it.
Every community's worst nightmare. I want to give you some preliminary information to put a lot of minds at ease. There is no further threat. Both suspects in this case are deceased. All of the kids are safe. We have 3 confirmed adults that are deceased at the Islamic Center. Because of the Islamic Center location, we are considering this a hate crime until it's not. At this point, we're going to work closely with the FBI to make sure that we are matching all the resources that we need for this investigation. This is every...
All right. We got one more video because, see there? 3 Jakes. The Most High let the Jakes get it. Right? Not Ishmael, right? And it's supposed to be an Ishmaelite religion, but Jake be... Anyway, Most High brought it upon them, right? They shouldn't have been there in the first place. But anyway, one more video. But that's the point right there. We're going to end with this last video. Most High be ramping up the mischief, right? Which is Jacob's trouble anyway.
3 adults dead at the scene. 2 shooters, what they believe to be the shooters, dead as well, outside of a vehicle or near a vehicle nearby. Also listening in with me is CBS News national correspondent Jonathan Vigliotti, who's following the story for us. Jonathan, you were listening along with me. What stood out to you?
Yeah, immediately, Tony, officials declaring this a hate crime. They're treating it as such. They're working with the FBI as this investigation continues. In terms of what happened, according to them, with this timeline, just before noon today, they say these 2 gunmen stormed a mosque at the center, opening fire multiple times before then fleeing in a vehicle where they continued to carry out opening fire in a nearby neighborhood before they were quote-unquote neutralized. Officials confirming that both of the gunmen have been killed. It appears the threat has been contained, but not before these 2 gunmen injured multiple people. At least 3 adults confirmed, as you mentioned, killed in this. I just want to give you a scene here because this is happening at the Islamic Center of San Diego. It's located just 9 miles outside of the city. It is the largest mosque in the county. There is also a school on that sprawling property. There was a lot of concern early on about children at that school. We saw an incredible police presence. We couldn't even count all of the SWAT cars, and some pretty emotional video that we saw earlier. Children were being escorted out holding hands by police. We can tell you that a representative from the mosque posted a video saying that children, students, none of them were injured. Again, so many questions remain as officials now confirming 2 gunmen, both have been quote-unquote neutralized, killed, and 3 victims sadly
mischief
killed as
upon
well
mischief,
in this shooting.
news and prophecy.
Story, Tony.
3 adults